it took us quite a bit of effort to get all these statuses, but we're fairly beat up. Not horribly. And I'm not seeing the other statuses happening. I don't want to go in with just 2 guys. I feel like I kind of have to rest. I don't know. I haven't been playing for a while. Not really to avoid this, but just, I don't know, the weekend, you know. And then I know tomorrow I'm screwed into dentistry. I just wish I had something that would give me a status easily, some drugs or something. And that's part of the, well, maybe I can find something if I rest in the town, except I can't trade here. So I don't know. Maybe it makes more sense to try to run and gain more statuses. And then we could actually trade in Pigskin Port if we need to. Alright, we'll see what that does. I won. Every single one of them got fatigued. Now that means I got a long walk home to get back up there. But I've got the status on everything. So as long as I don't get too badly mauled, I should be okay. And, you know, I don't know. We'll probably try to filch something anyway. Ended up getting an even better pistol. So I handed this gun off to him, but I don't know if that makes sense. First of all, I may not have the agility for it, but it might make sense to hand this to one of the people who's already got firearms, just because they're better. He's got a higher perception. Both of these have a higher perception. I'm going to hand it to him. He's got that silver shot too instead, because giving him a gun doesn't really help that much. He's pretty good with his axe. And now we start the slow walk home, or to wherever we're going. Remember, the foothills has a very low number, so we didn't have much danger here, but we walked into here, and we're going cautious, because I don't necessarily want to fight anything in the shape that we're in. I don't want to get wounded enough that I have to rest. But I pulled something ugly. First of all, this was already at 6, so we spent 4 luck to prevent a Hand of Doom marker from going up. What's kind of weird here is, in the scenarios, you probably aren't going to face this getting flooded, but you might get a couple of markers up there. In the campaign, because you can avoid that, and you really don't want anything showing up there, you lose a part of the game, which is the nasties that start showing up there. The effects of the hand and everything. You're not going to have to cope with that as much, as long as you have some luck. Now, I don't have enough luck to prevent another one, and there are a lot of high numbers out there, so there could be a problem. But the bigger problem is, I triggered this, I failed in my sneak roll, and now I'm going to be facing an epic monster and 3 other monsters where I am. Epics are painful. This guy comes in with a rally. He also has command bandits and a summon. He has to get killed quickly, or else we're going to just keep seeing more and more monsters showing up. I ended up concentrating the forces. A fighting outhouse. Yuck. I've got an ambush check on him, though. And that leaves two characters free. Oh, by the way, I stole some tranquilizing darts that I found here. I don't know how much they're going to help me. Basically, you fire them with the dart pistol. If you hit with the attached weapon and your total attack dice is equal to or greater than the target's remaining hit points and armor combined, the target becomes dazed. Well, gosh. It seems a little weak, but, like, I don't know. Other things can kill. I don't know how bad dazed is. I think that's the half attack or something. It can be pretty big, and they remain that for the combat, so you could pretty much knock out something from being able to do damage any further. But a lot of times it's the special abilities that you really have to cancel out, and Dazed doesn't get rid of that. I think it's Hex that gets rid of those. The important thing, right, we killed him. That's about it. But that's good. That gets rid of the main problem here. And now we can just move forward against what's left. So far the effects are pretty good from this combat. I killed this thing and I'm wiping out the others, but my poor soldier is getting kind of beat up here facing these guys. He's failing his defense rolls and the like, which is not good. And he's not terribly good at getting his defense rolls because of the breastplate. It helps, but it hurts at the same time. And after finishing him off, none of the loot rolls were successful, except for the important one. He's at another point of luck. And that came up as this moon mask, which, hey, you can enter a metaphysical space without a special condition. And that would help one person. You're immune to nullify. I don't know what the fuck that is. But it gives +1 magic. So he actually can't wear it. I don't think anybody in this group can carry this around. It's a performer, warlock, or wild. The only one that I might have is wild, and I do not. So we'll let him carry it around. Yeah, so it's kind of useless. Pity. But we can always give it to the thing here, maybe. I know we have another thing that we were thinking about this, or I thought there was another. Oh, the bone totem was a relic. Is this a relic? Yeah, this is a relic as well. Relics are the important thing to give away, apparently, from what I remember. But we killed a big monster here, which is awesome, because we just fixed it down to a 1. And that means we can start moving the bandit camp towards being a town, maybe, because it is a settlement, and we can make it a friendlier place for us. Oh, look, though, I can steal something. I can't help it. 2 increases the danger level. Oh, well. All right. But now we're on our way up Slaver's Pass to get to the Temple of Madness. Into the heart of danger we go. We draw a nasty. This card, I see Treasure Trove. I'm like, yeah, I want to win this battle. But this could be pretty ugly. Of course, we do get to rest before we deal with Lord Scrotum or whatever his name is. But I'm going to be facing 5 monsters. And we got 1, 2. But the rest are going to have to be a reshuffle out of that deck. And because the wizard has the shockwave, la la la, he's taking on the majority of the stuff that he can. And then we're going to try to pluck those off. He's got a couple of nasties though. I see 1 arrival ability ambush. That probably isn't going to affect much. The summons, that green doesn't mean it only works in the green. Some of them are kind of that kind of way. No, it means he's going to summon wetlands monsters, which is going to be kind of weird, but they'll be showing up. Hey, we already have a fishoid here, so got to be skirmish. Might not do much because this is already 6, and I don't think that triggers a Hand of Doom effect. So he's going to run away at the end of a round, unless I want to kill him particularly. He's not that bad. Unfortunately, he has the Annoy ability, which is okay. That forces a guard stance. One of them is annoying because you have to target that critter. I don't remember which one that is. Annoy is one of them, and the other one, oh, they're both over here. Taunt. Taunt requires you to hit the other. So he used the mold melter to help destroy the outhouse and get himself a point of luck, actually, which is pretty cool. I don't know what he was actually the one person who got stunned by terrible roll for the perception test on the ambush. He's possible to get ambushed. His perception's kind of low, but the rest of them have high perception. He's immune. Successful first round. The fish thing runs away. This would raise the risk level there, but there isn't any chance of that, so all we got left is this thing, and we should be able to wipe that out pretty quickly. After the battle, we're kind of maxed out on money. I'm going to have to invest in some location or something. But the spiked shield here is what I found. It's a heavy item. Not many people can carry it, so I gave it to the mage. He can at least carry it. The only person who could use it is the warrior over there, and unfortunately, he's kind of well set. First of all, he's got 2 heavy items, and the shield would reduce his agility, another one. It gives you a neat ability, which is an additional power die, and each 6 you roll on your power dice will do piercing damage, but it's got to be a guarded stance. It's got to be, it just causes a lot of things, and it just doesn't work very well for him. So that's probably something we're going to sell or give away or something. So let's resolve this. Treasure trove. I can plunder or ignore. Well, we plunder, obviously. The adventurer with the highest perception can draw an epic loot. Then each adventurer in the party gains a d6 plus 2 gold pieces and increase the danger level in your space. Well, again, I don't think this triggers a problem. There's only certain specific things. If a card triggers an increase in danger space, unless it goes up, unless it specifies that the Hand of Doom gets placed, it doesn't get placed from what I remember. So this ends up pretty bonus. Found something amazing. It's Stormbringer. -1 to your morale. It allows you to make an attack with strength. You might want to get this in his hands. The attack ignores endless. If you destroy a monster with this attack, you recover wounds equal to that monster's experience point value, and you become invigorated. Yeah, I probably want to swap this out. Grab the poleaxe here, and let him use this amazing weapon. Now that's a one-handed weapon. I have to now decide, do I want the breastplate or do I want this spiked shield? Now the spiked shield doesn't really help you on defense, so I kind of like the breastplate better, but we'll see. Alright, and we didn't have any of these encounters, so we didn't get to score drugs from them, which would have been useful because we could buy drugs from each person, which would let you in here, but they're hard to find. Okay, so as you approach the spiraling labyrinthine corridors of the temple, the clinking footsteps of the Bird King's ceramic feet echo across the strangely glistening walls. The wording in this, and then some of the background books and stuff, they really make me want to make this into an RPG, but I'm happier with digging into Glorantha, but this is so weird that I love it. The sweet scent of the wafting Nacht mist envelops the chamber, and Lord Scrot appears, towering above you and gibbering like a mad parrot or a living god. If you have the fungal parasite, I do not. All right. When you rest at the Temple of Madness, oh, I forgot to do my rest. Let me do my rest before I read any more, because I might be buying some experience items there. Some skills. So we made a few shifts, a few purchases here. The most important one is he picked up Shield Wall. Maybe the most important, I don't know. Which meant I shifted the armor around. I don't know if he's actually going to wear this shit. Agility isn't that big a deal to him, and +2 armor is pretty potent. However, the agility bonus allows him to use his strength as his defense roll, which means he's much, much more likely to be able to get a good, successful defense. He's been having trouble with that. And what else? We've got that spiking ability with it, which allows him to do some damage there. He picked up counter, which will allow him to do some damage on things that are targeting him. He doesn't tend to have stuff targeting him, but I'm having trouble finding anything terribly useful. I guess Sixth Sense I could have pushed forward and made everybody immune to ambush, but he upgraded his Deadeye shot, which will allow him to do some additional piercing damage when he shoots. If he gets a 6 on a power die, I think. But he's got that swapping, right? Yeah, he's got that swapping. So he might be able to improve his chances of getting a 6. Instead of just getting 1 or 2 dice that might roll a 6. Now he's got 2 additional that might. Over here, he upgraded Illusionary Double to the Mastery, gave him a point of luck, and that'll make it easier for him to avoid things in that first round of the fight that are targeting him. Okay, so let's see what we got here. When you rest at the Temple of Madness, place Lord Scrot there. At the start of the encounter phase, you may attempt to pay tribute to him by presenting a symbolic offering. The fungal host, or any adventurer if there is no fungal host, must discard an ally, food, herb, relic, or alchemical item, and then make a magic test. If you offered a relic, you can roll 3 dice and use any 2. Your offering is successful and your mission completed. If you fail, Lord Scrot rejects your tribute, and you must fight and destroy him as your mind clears and you witness the true horror that surrounds you. Okay, well, we can do this, but we got to find the Scrot counter. And there are some rules here. I'm not sure that we draw a danger card here. I seem to remember something that says we don't. People healed, and they are not allowed to heal here. Ruh-roh. He healed 3 because he failed. I don't know about some of these others. He had a fair number. He's no longer poisoned. And I think he was okay. These are just guesses. I don't know if we want to fight Scrot or try to bribe him. I look at the rewards. If we succeed, we get a lock. Remove 2 yellow doom counters from the doom track. Well, there aren't any, so we're okay there. We would improve the town level. It sounds good at Pigstand Port and the Bandit Camp, great. The real question, and we also get a different triumph. So we'll get 1 of 2 triumphs. Triumphs come from this deck. I've never seen them before. We never got this far in any of the games I played. One of the triumphs is Servant of Lord Scrot, and the other one is like, I don't know, Psychic Warrior. Well, Psychic Warrior sounds pretty good, but we're not really healthy. And we are going to be facing the danger deck, although it is reduced because there's an evil counter here at this point. And he has Rally, which means he'll create some critter and summon it at the end of each turn. So he's not trivial to kill. However, I think we're opposed to evil. And I don't think we want to give him anything, even though we've definitely got things we could give up. I think we want to try to slaughter him. So, Excelsior. Also got an event. Now, we're only going to be facing 3 monsters instead of 4, but he immediately summons one. So, dozens of mouths sprout from the squishy walls and floor of the narrow path. The gnashing teeth bite eagerly at your limbs. Screwed. Place a perilous counter in the space. We don't need one. The space is already perilous. That's why we couldn't heal. Each adventurer must make an agility test. If you fail, take a d3 plus 1 damage. If you fail with doubles, you must also discard a random ally or item. Okay, and we also had 2 rally events, so 2 more monsters came up, and now we've got a whole bunch of them that I've assigned to the mage because he's got his shockwave, he's got his illusionary double. Maybe. We'll see. And it's time to start the fight. We got to get rid of Scrot. He's got the summon ability, so he's a problem. But we also have to worry about the quantity of monsters we're facing here. Didn't go so badly, however. We killed one of the summoning critters. We didn't kill Scrot. We were focusing on getting rid of this first because, I don't know. The gas poisoned a few people, but you can see I've allocated quite a few damage to the mage's guys. He's going to be able to probably get some good experience off of this and maybe be able to upgrade his mend wounds, which will be important too. The point from that I think I forgot to give to people. This guy was okay. He was correctly assessed. But the others I was trying to estimate where they were. And again, it's just guessing. He missed, but didn't take much damage. He took like one hit without the fury effect. That didn't come in. That doesn't have an effect. So on to the next round. This guy's abilities, he really should have the extra weapon. So I'm gonna trigger this guy first, and he's gonna throw the pistol over to him. Even though he's got the shot, I don't think that shot's terribly useful in this battle. Undead, lycanthropes, endless, and ghostly. I don't see any of that shit here. He managed to wipe everything out himself. Everybody else took pot shots and shit, but yeah, we got this thing as our next critter. Again, we gotta kill Scrot. I hope I remembered to draw last time. I think I probably forgot, but whatever. Anyway, it's time for some more pot shots, and see, this is a problem because he's got the pistol here. I mean, his strength's not that bad. He can use the poleaxe, I guess. No, he's not strong enough to use it. So yeah, it's kind of a point of trying to get weapons into the right hands. If I've got the pistol, can I throw him the weapon? No, he's not strong enough. I'm the only person strong enough to use the bastard sword. You know, it's kind of this, how do I balance out the pieces now? He can reload, but you know, that's wasting a round, and the blunderbuss isn't all that particularly useful against the armor. So I may be throwing the pistol back to him, even though I really like having a weapon because of the dead eye, a firearm because of the dead eye shot. But without the armor, he's not working as well as a tank. I had to spend 2 luck to prevent myself from getting knocked out, which would be very dangerous at this space. This is one of those perilous spots, right? In addition, though, our sword came into play, so I get 5 healing from this. Remember, I'm poisoned, which is part of the problem. And on top of that, there's something else. I become invigorated. I don't know what that does. I'm not sure how these triumphs work. This one says, you've seen things that defy belief, having traveled beyond the bounds of the physical world to the Temple of Madness and vanquished the weird Lord Scrot. When you become demoralized, roll a d6. If you roll equal to or less than your luck, you become exalted instead. Does that go just to the person who killed him? Or does it feel more like it's something the whole party shares? And I think the latter. It's probably not too likely to come into play anyway. So I'm going to just put this over here as something that affects everyone, unless I can find a rule differently. Now, during looting, we found one cool thing. This puzzle prison, I got this in the game with my wife. You can basically make it an attack against monsters and stick them in here. But eventually you may start failing and monsters start escaping it. But at this point we have a puppet show, an evil puppet show, which only shows up in the town. Okay, that's a different loot card. Who drew that? I think it was him. So he gets a different one. He gets the Mist Geode. Okay. Make a magic test. If you pass, you can place a metaphysical counter on this card. When you would spend luck, you may remove a metaphysical. Wow, that sounds awesome. Okay, I'm going to give that to him. He also found some weed that if you make a magic test, you get a whole bunch, you get some experience. Now, he's got this scratch pipe, so he can smoke this. I don't think he can smoke the crystal. So we ended up overall doing quite well out of this. The risk is lower. Lord Scrot is gone from the game. He might show up again if the epic monster thing comes out. These only went up by 1. I thought they went up by 2. But overall, yeah, this was a pretty good finish. Now that ends this one. And our next mission path, as the Bird King's body sinks into the quivering floor, his wounds form growing pools of stinking blight mold. As these pools seep into the ground, new and bizarre forms rise and twist in the air before your eyes. You realize that this place must somehow be the source of the terrible blight devastating the highlands. Armed with this knowledge, you resolve to do what you can to cleanse the blight. Now, on the other side of it, if you don't kill him, you spread the blight, and you serve him doing that. So I'm pretty happy that we ended up with this result, because the other side of it sounds a little, I don't know, less happy. But anyway, I'm going to load this one up, and we'll go to the next one when I feel capable of it. Some of the markers may go away. I think there were some that were triggered by this. I'm not sure where. No. All right, up it goes.